Welcome back to the Essentially You podcast, all about reinventing your health with safer, cheaper, more effective natural solutions and powerful lifestyle changes so that you become the CEO of your health. I am your host, Dr. Marisa Snyder. When it comes to creating energy for the body and waking up in the morning feeling like you actually slept well, nutrient deficiencies can really throw a wrench in things. See, how can you expect your body to make more energy, the energy that you need, and operate the hormone pathways without the actual building blocks to run the processes that make energy or hormones communicate? It's like trying to make the most amazing chocolate cake for your mom, but you are missing eggs, sugar, and chocolate. Now, although you have butter, vanilla, and flour, those ingredients aren't going to cut it if the goal is to make a sweet chocolate cake. And with over 60% of women dealing with nutrient deficiencies in many key areas like vitamins, minerals, and cofactors, it's no wonder that we are feeling tired, we're feeling irritated and brain fogged, just to name a few symptoms which are created by not having the nutrients that we need. Ultimately, we are half showing up to do the things that we need to do because we are just not firing on all cylinders. And there is nothing more discouraging than knowing that you are not functioning the way that you used to 6 months ago or even a year ago. Now, I can absolutely speak to this right now, given that I'm over 8 months pregnant and I simply cannot do as much as I'm used to doing. There are days when I am pretty beat up completely about it and feel frustrated at my limitations. Now, I get it. I'm almost 9 months pregnant and I need to give myself more grace. I need to surrender to the process. But it doesn't mean that there aren't moments when I wish I had a little bit more energy to finish out my daily workload or to just go on a beach walk with my husband at 4:30 p.m. before the sun sets. Now, when I was really struggling with chronic fatigue and not due to being pregnant, way back in the day, I was actually shocked to find out that I was lacking in some key nutrients, things like selenium, zinc, iron, multiple B vitamins, and magnesium. And the reason I say that I was shocked is because I was taking a full spectrum multivitamin and a couple of other supplements like a probiotic and digestive enzyme, and I thought that I was covered. But I wasn't able to function the way that I wanted to, and it had a massive impact on the way that I showed up in the world. Now, I would say that most women that I talk to, magnesium is one of the biggest deficiencies along with methylated B vitamins. Now, I say methylated B vitamins because there are definitely more than one B vitamin, and we don't always know if we're able to properly methylate unless we look at our genetics. And so often I always tell women to do a methylated B complex or an activated B complex so that we know that we're covering all of our bases. Now, when it comes to the different types of B vitamins, the big ones that I see that many of us are struggling with are B12, B6, B9, and choline, which is known as B2. And I am always amazed at how much these vitamins and minerals work together in tandem, especially B vitamins and magnesium. And that's why I think they're a critical bundle, a critical combination to have on the daily, because I find that one doesn't work so great without the other. Now, this is a bundle that I have taken very seriously. In my Essentially Whole store, we actually package them together, and I consider them literally women's daily essentials because when they're taken together, oh my gosh, like you will begin to feel more energy, you'll begin to feel more focused, you'll sleep better at night. There's just so many big wins when we cover these two nutrients together. So what I wanted to do is over the weekend, because I know I'm talking about this here on the podcast, is I'm offering my little women's daily essentials bundle with Magnesium Restore and Activated B Complete. I'm offering it as a discount this week because I know so many of us are struggling with energy issues and hormonal imbalances. So if you already know that you're struggling with these two things, I will have the link to the bundle in the show notes for this episode, which is 241. Or you can just go to drmarisa.com/shop supplements and find the bundle there. Now today I want to focus on the 5 ways, although there are more ways than that, but the 5 ways in which magnesium rescues our hormones and our energy production. Now, it's no surprise, magnesium is critical to your body's ability to relax, stay calm, and so symptoms of magnesium deficiency are typically centered around your body in overdrive. Like if you're constantly in overdrive, you're constantly busy, that's kind of when you'll start to see symptoms of magnesium deficiency. And here's the deal. Many of us are very, very busy. Honestly, I think we're busier now than we've ever been before. And when we're busy, we burn through key nutrients. And one of the biggest ones that we burn through, like the fastest, is magnesium. So here's some things to look out for if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if I'm struggling with magnesium or not. And even if you are or you're not, and you're wondering, should you take it? I just say, take it. Because magnesium is responsible for 500 plus reactions. Again, we burn through it constantly all the time. It's not like you're going to overload on more magnesium. Most multivitamins have a very small amount of it, nowhere near the amount that I think we should have every single day, especially if you define yourself as busy. So some things to look out for. 1, feeling super irritable, restless, or anxious. Maybe you're struggling with headaches and migraines. Maybe you've got a little bit of hypertension or pre-hypertension. You're dealing with muscle cramps or muscle spasms, especially in the legs and maybe the low back. Lack of energy, this is a big one, even to the point of chronic fatigue. Like if you are waking up tired or you're feeling tired at 5 p.m., definitely magnesium is going to help you. Or insomnia, trouble sleeping, or an inability to wind down at night. If you've got any of these things going on, it is worth bringing magnesium into your daily regimen. Now, as I mentioned, symptoms of magnesium deficiency can be subtle, but because it's not going to be something that's going to hit you like a Mack truck. But again, it's absolutely worth looking into start supplementing. And what's super cool about supplementing magnesium, especially alongside with activated B complex, is that you will begin to feel the difference very quickly. That's what I love about it. So let's talk about the top 5 ways in which magnesium rescues our hormones and boosts energy production. Number 1 on the docket is our reproductive hormone health. As you know, during our childbearing years and even into perimenopause, whether we're trying to get pregnant or not, your body is running like a fine-tuned machine when it comes to getting the body prepared every month for the potential of fertilizing an egg. So your reproductive hormones and your organs, they rely on a lot of nutrients to run this massive energy productive show. And magnesium is one of the ones that's going to keep everything balanced. Now, if you're feeling like you're dealing with imbalances, things like struggling with low libido or infertility or severe PMS symptoms or even menstrual cramps, upping magnesium could be the answer to your period problems or your perimenopausal problems. Next is sleep and relaxation, because yes, this has everything to do with your hormones. It definitely has everything to do with your energy levels, even your mood levels. So magnesium can help you calm your mind and your body and help you get the much needed rest that goodness knows that most of us are probably deficient in its own right. This mineral improves your sleep quality. It stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is oftentimes suppressed by the sympathetic fight or flight nervous system. And this particular central nervous system, this parasympathetic nervous system, is known to allow you to relax. So what I love is that magnesium can help shift you into a parasympathetic state, which is super important. Now, if you're really wanting to relax, especially at night, and kind of shut down that mental chatter, I highly recommend taking 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate every single day, because the amino acid glycine, which is the glycinate in magnesium glycinate, is so potent at helping to calm and relax the mind. The other amino acid that I absolutely love as well is taurine. And you can get that separate too. But yes, magnesium glycinate is going to be huge. And I recommend taking 300 to 400 milligrams before going to bed every night. That's what I take every single night. My Magnesium Restore, 2 of those capsules, which I take every night, gets you there. And all of a sudden, that mental chatter, that anxiousness, that insomnia, it just kind of starts to melt away. And it can be really helpful, the Magnesium Restore, for supporting the digestive system at night, muscle spasms at night, and even headaches if you get headaches at night. So those are just some things to look at when it comes to boosting magnesium for sleep and relaxation. Next, probably the biggest hormone that really causes all kinds of havoc is cortisol. Let's just paint the picture for cortisol really quickly. So cortisol is our stress response hormone. It puts us in fight or flight, or it helps to ensure the body's ready in case we need to be in fight or flight. It regulates blood sugar levels and insulin levels. It's probably its major job. It reduces inflammation and shunts an autoimmune response. And it also is in charge of waking you up in the morning. It's called the cortisol awakening response. And this is all being driven by the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. So if you want to support the HPA axis, which is your stress response system, and hormone balance, it's going to be critical to make sure that you have enough magnesium to boost any type of stress that your body could be dealing with. Also addressing the cortisol spikes to protect your body and your hormones from deregulation. And most importantly, which we're going to get to right now, is magnesium is a cofactor for mitochondria actually creating cortisol inside of your adrenal glands, which is super critical, especially if your body's telling your whole system to stop making cortisol. We do want to make sure that mitochondria has the ability to continue to do so. So that is how we manage stress, how we support hormone balance, especially with the stress response system when just taking magnesium. Number 4 is going to be fighting against insulin resistance. Another mega hormone here. Insulin is the hormone that controls your blood sugar levels. It plays in tandem with cortisol, so it's super critical here. The imbalance in insulin, which is your body's ability, like your body's resistance to insulin, and that is usually due to lifestyle issues and stress, is a major root cause of PCOS, endometriosis, hormonal imbalance, inflammation, issues during perimenopause, and so much more. I had an entire episode on insulin. I feel like it's the number one hormone to look out for in perimenopause. And if we don't have enough magnesium, we can absolutely throw off our insulin levels. So this is super critical. The more magnesium we have in the system, it helps our body regulate this important hormone and allows your body to process it efficiently so you can get back on track. And it is so effective at improving insulin sensitivity that it's referred to as a natural metformin. So if you're looking for a natural metformin, definitely magnesium is on the docket. And I normally recommend magnesium glycinate. And then number 5, energy, because energy is definitely the disruptive symptom that we're experiencing when our hormones are whacked out. Now, one thing I totally hear from women, again, is that when they start to take magnesium, one of the first things that they notice is an increase in energy and a relief from their chronic fatigue. While this may seem counterintuitive, because I'm telling you how magnesium can help you relax, the two really go together. Magnesium helps your cells convert energy more efficiently in your mitochondria, leading to less waste and more fuel to keep your body moving. It also makes sense that if you're sleeping better and recharging, you're going to feel more energized as well. So it's like a double win. So yes, magnesium is great for helping to calm the mind and calm the brain, but it's also a critical nutrient for liver detoxification and mitochondrial energy production. And then I've got a bonus because I love bonuses, and that is how magnesium supports thyroid health. I'm telling you, magnesium is like the triple hormone threat. And I consider the triple threat in hormones is thyroid, insulin, and cortisol. That's a triple threat. And those three, if they're dialed in, woohoo, we are feeling so great. If either one of those three are not dialed, it all just kind of falls apart. It's like a house of cards. So I wanted to just speak into thyroid health because I know so many women listen to this have thyroid issues, including myself. So magnesium, no surprise, it's essential for the production of thyroid hormone. It's also anti-inflammatory, which helps to quiet autoimmune inflammation that underlies most thyroid disease. Other ways to address thyroid autoimmunity is to avoid things like gluten and supplementing selenium. I have tons of episodes on how to address Hashimoto's and autoimmunity-driven thyroid issues, and you can definitely go to the Essentially You podcast, and you'll see I just did some thyroid episodes not too long ago if you want to go and dive into that. Okay, so that was the bonus. I just wanted to paint the picture. And the beautiful thing is all you got to do is just take 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate at night, and voila, you're going to start to see so many of these things begin to improve. That's what I love so much about this needle moving nutrient. I don't know why we're not talking about it enough. I can't get enough of it. I mean, we take it every single night without fail. So now that you know that magnesium literally rescues your hormones, the next question that I get a lot is, what is the best way to take it? Now, in my opinion, I've made this really clear throughout this episode, is magnesium supplementation is the best way to ensure that you have enough of this vital mineral. Because of the decreased availability of magnesium in our food supply and soil, the chronic stress that depletes magnesium, and the other factors that contribute to nutrient deficiencies, taking supplements are going to be one of the best ways to get your body back on track. That is just the way it is. Honestly, I wish that we could get more of this from food, but if we want to pull the big lever, we've got to be willing to supplement. That's just the world that we live in today, especially with us being so busy. So magnesium supplementation is side effect free, woohoo, except for if you're taking magnesium citrate, it's going to have a laxative effect, which is great if you're dealing with constipation, and I'll talk about that in just a second. And it is so safe that you can really experiment with how much has your body feeling great, what strength you need, and how to create balance again. Again, I find that super great sweet spot is like between 300 and 500 milligrams for most people. But again, you can kind of figure out what works best for you. Now, the number one magnesium that I recommend that I think is the big game change is going to be magnesium biglycinate with magnesium oxide. And this is actually the one that I formulated as a part of my Essentially Whole supplement line. And I call it Magnesium Restore. I've been referring to it a couple times here in this episode. And that's because it literally is highly absorbable, doesn't mess with the digestive system, and it gets to work instantaneously. It's literally my best-selling product because it works so quickly. And who doesn't want an instant win? I know we all want an instant win, especially when it comes to sleep, hormones, energy, brain fog, all of that. We want to feel better faster. Now, this supplement is formulated specifically to absorb super easy without causing diarrhea or other side effects. It's definitely the most bioavailable and absorbable magnesium that I know about. And what I love is it's important that you have something that's going to work for your body efficiently and effectively on a cellular level. Now, if you're looking at other magnesium glycinates, definitely check out where the source is, just in case, because sometimes you're not actually getting that type of magnesium. Now, another form that I recommend, especially if you're struggling with a sluggish digestive system and constipation, is magnesium citrate. Now, while Magnesium Restore is my choice for daily magnesium levels for improving energy and hormones and all the things that we talked about today, if specifically you're dealing with a sluggish digestive system and severe constipation, magnesium citrate is always good for those times where you need a laxative effect. I am telling you, if you haven't gone and had a bowel movement in a day or two, it's important to have magnesium citrate in your medicine cabinet. That'll move the needle and get things moving again. Now, I recommend around 300 and 400 milligrams of magnesium citrate as well. Again, figuring out your dosage, what's going to help move things along. Everybody's different, everybody's unique, and it really depends on how badly backed up you are, depending on how much more you'll need. Some people may need all the way up to 800 milligrams, and that is totally okay as long as things are continuing to move. Now, there are other forms of magnesium, from topical to powdered magnesium to other forms of supplements, and the types of magnesium can seem a little bit endless. Just to caution you, other types may be pure or they may not, and they may not deliver the most absorbable magnesium to your body. So you want to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck, and many forms of magnesium are not extremely absorbable for the body, which means it just goes to waste. So it's just something to be mindful of when it comes to looking at magnesiums. And as I mentioned before, I will have the link to my Women's Daily Essentials bundle that consists of my Magnesium Restore and my Activated Be Complete, in case you are feeling low energy and know that your hormones are struggling and you want to be able to give them that much needed boost. That will be in the show notes for episode 241. And I just want to say thank you so much again for listening to this podcast. I hope that you have been enlightened by all the ways in which this little mineral can make such a big impact on the body. And next week, next Tuesday, I am bringing on my dear friend and fertility guru, Dr. Cleopatra, to share how to eat and supplement during pregnancy and to optimize the health of mama and baby. As I mentioned, I'm still doing a couple more episodes around pregnancy. And if there's anyone who's trying to get pregnant or who is pregnant right now that you feel would be perfect for this upcoming episode next Tuesday, definitely let them know. They're going to want to cue into what Dr. Cleopatra has to say. She is a genius when it comes to epigenetics and understanding the biology of the body and how we can literally reduce and reverse our reproductive age. And that is just such cool information. I can't wait for you to dive into. Until then, I hope you're having a wonderful week, a wonderful fall. I'll see you soon.